A lot of, large gas users really care about where their gas comes from, probably more so now than ever before. And to be
Like an
clear,
industrial customer.
natural gas, but essentially to your large gas utility that's distributing gas, and you want to say, hey, I'd like to make sure that my gas comes from Canada and that it meets a set of environmental obligations that are, more than just what's required by regulation, but actually demonstrate leadership across all the different aspects of that environmental performance. And also that Indigenous peoples, rights holders across, in particular, British Columbia and Alberta, which is where a lot of Canada's gas comes from, that those right holders are fairly compensated and even are fully equity participants in the gas that's being produced. Number one, I think right now the world is very focused on, greenhouse gas emissions and methane abatement in particular. There's a lot of methane that gets released in the course of producing natural gas. A big concern when you're thinking about when you burn natural gas to make energy is how much methane was lost to the atmosphere. That has a very big impact on global warming. It's a very powerful carbon forcer or climate forcing gas. And so the goal of a gas buyer is to try and reduce those emissions as much as they can to drive higher expectations upstream to the gas producer, and to get from that a lower carbon product at the other end. And then, a lot of those downstream buyers, just like you and I care about, right now in particular, it makes a difference if you're buying apples that come from BC or from Washington State. It makes a difference where the gas is coming from. Is it coming from some of the really highly regulated and then independently audited gas producers in northeastern BC and central Alberta, or is it coming from elsewhere, maybe south of the border if you're in Quebec, which might not be held to the same standards as the gas that's coming from BC or Alberta? So that's what certification helps level out. Whether the molecules are coming from the US or Canada, they're being held to a common standard that's very high, higher than what they're required under any law.